Okay. I'm taking this 737 320 to New York, and the range of the 707 320 is 5,500 miles. Therefore, I'm going to have to do a stop in Hawaii, and I'm also going to have another stopover in Los Angeles to refuel, this is, and then it'll be on to New York. So, this is the only outside shot of the plane I will be recording. Just to give you an idea of what it is, it's a 1963 model Boeing 707. So if it was 1965, for example, before the jumbos came out, this would be the one. Okay, now it's getting ready to roll and rolling. We're going to go over NDB 34, which is a navigational directional beacon, which is just left of the Gladesville Bridge, whereupon we shall turn right and head off over the coast. Okay. Fairly quick in there. The acceleration department is the 707, although it does take a fair amount of speed to get off the ground. 170 knots usually does it, whereas 140 for a 737. Anyway, there's the airport. Gear up. I haven't got any other planes down there because it impedes upon the frame rate, which I intend to be 60 frames per second. Okay, getting over Alexandria now. And here we are at Stanmore, going over Stanmore. Scanville. Glebe. That's the Gladesville Bridge, which I just circled with the cursor. And that's the Anzac Bridge. So we're now going over Roselle and Balmain down to the right, where the wingtip is now. Lemoyne, Broken Head Point. As you'll see, there's no real North Sydney that's mapped out on Flight Simulator X. Harbour Bridges also leaves a reasonable amount to be desired. So going over North Sydney now. Airspeed is 238 knots. We're getting up to 250 before we'll power down. Okay, going over Neutral Bay, Camaray. There's the Spit Bridge down there, and Mossman to the right. This is underneath the wing we're talking about, not where I currently am. There's the Hawkesbury River Range. Okay, going over Seaforth. Actually, Seaforth's down there. We're going over Roseville, to tell you the truth. Okay, anyway, so that was enough of that. Here we're coming into Hawaii. the weather is shocking. We've got crosswinds of 50 knots, which is above the recommended, or actually it's above the permitted level by the transport, the flight, or whatever the bloody organisation is. The NTSB is obviously an investigative bureau, so I think it's the FAA. So flight rules would dictate that there is no way I would be allowed to land in these conditions. So obviously I have flown this before I'm talking now, because I would not be able to simultaneously talk and fly the plane under these conditions. During the flight I was obviously inside the cockpit, and I've got a steering wheel which I use, and I almost broke it. You've got to realise that turning the wheel harder in any direction is not going to do any good. It's just like pressing buttons harder on an Xbox controller. Ain't gonna do anything. So that's how close we came to the hill there. We've got to use a lot of rudder controls, which are foot pedals, because we can't simply bank in the direction which we're wanting to correct to. We have to keep the plane fairly level and use the the vertical stabilizer or the rudder to try and keep us pointed in the right direction. Because if you use bank, then you start snaking. You get into a snaking routine, which gets worse and worse and worse, and when you actually approach the runway, you haven't got a chance of landing on it because you're not pointed in the right direction. So anyway, these houses here would not be very happy about my proximity to their roofs, and this is also never a direction which a plane would land in Hawaii. Simply because of the hills and the danger involved, but I'm doing it with 50 knot crosswinds just simply for the challenge of the flight. Okay, so coming over Greater Hawaii here, it's not terribly well rendered. Got a hell of a cross breeze there, which, yes, okay. Anyway, so there's Hawaii to the left, which may or may not look accurate. I've never been there. There's a cruise ship over there. Anyway, back to the frontal position, which I'm sure is more interesting to people that fly the aeroplanes rather than people that just want to see the scenery, because this scenery isn't the most exceptional scenery that there is. So this is more a video demonstrating. So I was going a little bit low here because the pressure dropped, and so I had to apply for animate whatever. So off to the right wing to show the wing view landing. Terrible water rendition, but it is a 32-bit application, is Flight Simulator. It's quite an old game, if you want to call it game, really. Anyway, down we are. Up goes the spoilers. Reverse thrust, which is very efficient. Goodbye.